Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us, especially thank you to United Real Estate for taking the time to come meet with us and listen to our presentation on how we think we can better improve your company. My name is Andrew Holwald, and my colleagues here will be spending the next 10 to 20 minutes explaining to you briefly a little bit about your company, what we think your key strategies are, go into a little bit about the financials, and then offer some recommendations about how we can improve United Real Estate going forward. Autumn, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Autumn Johnson.
My name is Zheng Puxuan. Okay, so let me have a brief introduction about the background. The United Real Estate has more than 19 offices and over 3,080 agents, 800 agents through worldwide branch chasing. And we all know that United Real Estate Group is a very powerful international enterprise. So it has a lot of brands, includes United Real Estate Country and United Referral Network, United PRD International, and so on. So next slide.
Thank you, Sherm. So United Real Estate really has three key business strategies. The first one is their concentrated growth. So their goal, that right now they currently have 19 agents, and they're looking to get to 50 agents in the next year with a goal of reaching 200 agents. Additionally, United Real Estate is focusing on market development. So what market development is expansion into basically another market that looks exactly, if not exactly, but very similar to the Middle Tennessee market, where you have a major metropolitan area with 1 million plus people like Nashville, and a suburb county neighboring that area with around 300,000 people. And the third business strategy is the cost strategy. And this is where United Real Estate offers 100% model commission. And it's different than most brokers, where you have a 70 to 30 ratio for commission, or a 60 to 40, or even sometimes a 50 to 50. And really, this cost strategy, the only way that United Real Estate is making money is off their transaction fees, which is a $495 fee, which then leads itself to higher volumes, hence the concentrated growth. Slide.
So moving on to the 5 forces model, the first force we have is intensity of rivalry, which is a moderate force. Currently, we are seeing that agents outnumber the property spaces available to sell or buy. So these agencies must find differentiators to keep them competitive. So this kind of competition encourages them to be playmakers, to be the first to move. Slide. The next force we have is bargaining power of suppliers, which is also a strong force. This is a dependent relationship. So agencies and agents rely on suppliers. Without them, they have nothing to sell. So the suppliers act as intermediaries. Their relationships with suppliers must remain strong, nurtured, and maintained. The next force is the bargaining power of buyers, also a strong force, a dependent relationship as well. You may have something to sell, but with nobody to buy it, what good is that? So no matter the state of economy, buyers will always hold some form of power in this relationship. Real estate is a chosen investment purchase, and at the end of the day, buyers must say yes to get that sale. Next slide. So threat of new entry, also a strong force, because simply there are low barriers to get into real estate. You need a license and training and capital to get you started. It's not that much compared. And you must maintain a competitive advantage if you want to remain afloat once you get started in real estate. The next force is threat of substitutes. This is a moderate low force for them. There are no real substitutes to purchasing or selling real estate unless you choose to rent your space or do a sell by owner, but most consumers choose not to do that because it's very risky without agency's guidelines. Slide.
Thanks. So now we're going to cover driving forces. So the 4 main driving forces that can affect United Realty are the demographics. So the composition of the market's population, gender, age, race, income, etc. The second are interest rates. As interest rates drop, the cost to obtain a mortgage to buy a home is lowered, thus creating a higher demand for real estate, which incidentally will actually push prices up. Third is the economy. So in short, if the economy is good, the real estate market will be doing well. If the economy is down, the real estate market will be down. And lastly, there's government policies that can affect the real estate market, which means the government can temporarily boost demand for real estate through incentives like deductions, subsidize, and tax credits. Slide.
All right, so now we'll talk a little bit about key success factors in the real estate market going forward. The first one is a large database of property information. Obviously, in a digital age we live in now, people want to be able to go out and see properties in large quantities and kind of compare and contrast to see what's available and what's in their price range and that sort of thing. Also, a large network of agents and properties. So as Autumn mentioned earlier, we have to have enough properties to sell. And we have to have enough agents to work those properties for our customers as well. We also have to have the ability to build personal and community relationships. I think about this as a lot of times in smaller communities, there's the one real estate company that kind of owns the market because they've established that brand and that relationship in the community. So we have to be able to do this as well, no matter where we decide to continue our business. And the last one is the competitive fees and track record. We talked a little bit about this and how United does their business, and it will be important that they have those competitive fees and track record going forward as they try to penetrate the market.
Thanks, Jason. So moving on to our SWOT analysis, I'm going to cover quickly what the strengths of United Realty are. The first one being its 100% agent commission model. This really separates United Realty from most of their brokers, and it allows the real estate agent to actually maintain all of their commission earnings. Second is the high volumes. So the amount of agents that United Realty has really allows them to position themselves to create high volumes, and therefore they can get a lot more money off their contract earnings. Rapid growth. So the 100% agent commission model actually leads itself to, it's a very appealing model for a lot of agents to want to join on. So the growth and the speed that they can grow is exponential. And lastly, the market data. And this is their ability to still be a 100% agent commission model and not be a discount broker, but they still have the resources that really can separate an agent from becoming their own independent contractor and giving them the technology and the resources needed to be successful.
Okay, so first part of for weakness is single large market. As our client said 2 years ago, it only has a large market, Nashville, and this situation has not been improved until right now. And the second is the lack of economic building. And a powerful company needs a building is a size of strength in the central city, as well as an office that handles comprehensive business. Like we can find them, there are 5 days in Nashville on the map. And then the United Real Estate lacks top agent. In the Tennessee market, no agent working for United Real Estate can be among the top 10 or even the top 100. This means that the United Real Estate lacks elite sales staff. In addition, that will make it lose amount of customers who can bring huge profit. And at last, our client must face the internal competition. And United Real Estate is not the only brand in the national area, as we mentioned before. And the United Real Estate Group also operate another brand, United Country Real Estate. It thinks they serve the exclusive markets of rural and urban areas, but obviously there are no competition non-considered. These two brands will have a competition for internal resources and potential customers.
Okay, so moving on to the opportunities portion of the SWOT, I'm going to quickly touch base on each of these. So Tennessee jobs, as well as the population in the city. So with more companies bringing their factories and headquarters over to Tennessee, it's opening up more jobs in Tennessee, which brings more people over here, which are in need of real estate, as well as expansion. There are other states that I noticed that United hasn't tapped into that market yet. They don't have offices in those areas, such as Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, other things like that. They also have an opportunity to use their technology expertise and customer experience by using their webpage and different features they may offer to help really connect with customers and find the correct agent in the right space for them. They also are a great place for recruiting new agents. They have a lot of colleges and universities surrounding them in the Tennessee area that are full of students waiting to get their first job out of college. So it'd be a great opportunity for them to build relationships with them and mold those students into future agents for their company.
Finally, we'll talk about the threats. All four of these have been mentioned throughout the presentation. The first one is the economy. Obviously, when the economy is doing well, real estate goes up, and when the economy is not doing so well, the purchase of real estate goes down. Same with interest rates. As we talked about earlier, as interest rates get better, the price or the cost of owning a home goes down. So obviously, as the cost goes down, demand goes up, and that will always be something that we have to take a look at. Government policy, again, talking about, governments can do things that will temporarily boost the market or temporarily decline the market. So government policy will always be a threat in this space. And finally, demographics and location. So while Nashville is a booming area and right now real estate is up, you certainly have to look at demographics that, say for instance, a city like Detroit, where the demographics and location tell you that the property purchasing is going down. So those will always be a threat in these situations as well.